right, boys. Tonight is the night that we have all been waiting for.
I've been waiting for this night.
I have.
Yes, you've been waiting for this very patiently.
Okay.
So I want to do a little thing. I'm going to read a very appropriate story off a website. It's a website.
Yeah.
Typically, you would get on this website if you were on your private browsing.
Webster's Dictionary.
Yeah.
Webster's, yeah, you know that. That
Yeah.
shit
When you
gets me
look up the
going.
word boobs when your mom's not looking.
Oh,
It's
use
kind
it
of
in
the
a
sequel
sentence.
It's kind of the sequel to a website called coolmathgames.com. It's called literotica.com.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That good old Cool Math Games 2. Cool Math
is-
Games
so-
spiritual successor, literotica.com.
It is unacceptable that I've never heard of this website before, but even more unacceptable that it exists.
And I'm just going to read this story that I found called Night of the Sasquatch by Primate. By _primate _house.
Primate House.
Primate
Yeah,
House
Primate
is
House.
a better
House?
title.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, Christ.
Are you ready?
No.
The stress I feel is immeasurable, but yeah, sure.
Do y'all think I should read this in my normal voice?
No.
No, you have to do voices.
Sexy
you
voice.
can't. Yeah.
Okay, we're
well,
the sexy voice.
let's not go that far.
Ew. Never mind. Don't want it. Ew.
That's what Bigfoot sounds like.
No, Bigfoot is an eloquent man.
Yes, sorry.
It had been a long time since the university had agreed to fund an expedition like this.
Because people kept fucking Bigfoot on. sorry.
Nolan, I can't with this voice.
I'm just gonna read. I'll just read it in my normal voice.
I liked it, but okay.
When we get into it, I'll bring him back. I'll bring sexy Nolan back.
Okay.
It had been a long time since the university had agreed to fund an expedition like this, but a recent rash of sightings in the area had prompted a resurgence of interest in the creature and a sizable donation to the university, on the condition that at least 75% of it be used to fund a search for it. Kate knew perfectly well that to the school, that 75% was a write-off, but the remaining 25% justified the trouble. She'd lobbied hard to be the one sent on the expedition, and while her professors didn't fully understand her interest in what most of them dismissed as a wild goose chase, they also knew she was probably the only grad student who would at least try to look like she was taking the search seriously. And Kate Garland took it very seriously.
I love the way these stories are written.
I need a prequel specifically about the benefactor who was like 75% of
all
this.
of the percentages.
Right.
needs
It's
to
honestly
go.
like what I love about reading erotica is that there's just so much like superfluous, it's really specific information always
Yeah.
at the top, like how much the pizza cost when the pizza guy came over.
Yeah, just
Like,
how much.
It doesn't matter.
It begs the question of how much a Bigfoot hunt costs. Because it seems
much
to me
does a
like it would just be enough for like some camo, a person walking into the woods.
A ghillie suit is like
Right,
$2,000.
right.
Come on.
That's fair.
I mean,
that's fair.
If we're honest, it's not a cost of money, it's a cost of love. How much does that love
The
worth?
cost of spirit.
Right, okay. And Kate Garland took it very seriously. She'd always been fascinated by the Sasquatch legend. As a girl, she'd owned a big book on unsolved mysteries with chapters on the Sasquatch, the Yeti, that's one of my favorites, Acapulco, Nessie, the Mothman,
Okay. Wait, is
the
that
Mothman.
Is Acapulco? What's Acapulco?
I think that's just a location.
Yeah, that's just a place, isn't it?
Yeah.
There were
She might have
chapters.
meant chupacabra.
There were
but,
chapters on Bigfoot.
Y'all, I've gotta get through this
Mothman,
story. I've gotta
Las
get through this
Vegas.
story.
Okay, sorry.
We are gonna be here for 3 years.
Keep
Okay,
going.
okay, go.
Nessie, the Mothman, the Jersey Devil, and others. She'd been intrigued by all of them, but Sasquatch was her favorite. Like her, it lived in BC. No idea what that means.
British
But as
Columbia.
British Columbia. Okay. But I thought it was a time thing.
Yeah.
But as a land-dwelling humanoid, it had more personality and relatability than a lake monster like Agapogo. Okay, back at that again.
Okay, so this is a real thing. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
So instead of
all right.
Acapulco, it's
It's Ogopogo.
We're not gonna fuck that one. Don't worry about it.
Right. I'm not gonna fuck that sea
I'm only
monster.
gonna worry about the fuckable monsters.
She believed it was real. Even her most skeptical professors were impressed by the depth of her research to corroborate this idea. Her proposal that the Sasquatch and the Yeti were more man than ape, probably the descendants of Homo heidelbergensis, I don't know, or Homo denisova, or more likely a hybrid of the two, grown to gigantic size. She traced the entire spread of the creature through the Levant and up the Central Asian steppe into the Himalayas, across the Beringian land bridge and into North America. She'd provided plausible arguments in the local human DNA pools, the hominid fossil record, and of course, the folklore. Her professors might not share her belief, but they had a hard time dismissing it as mere anti-scientific fancy.
She's projecting a whole lot onto her professors, I feel.
I would just like to say that for the beginning of an erotica, I've never been so bored in my life.
I feel like I'm being argued to about the existence of Bigfoot.
It's like, damn, I just wanted to read a story where you, like, do some weird shit with Bigfoot. Come on.
Okay, we're just thinking about someone who writes Bigfoot erotica. So
That's
what do
true.
you expect? Okay, so the university had paid for her to rent a small cottage deep in a remote valley in the Cascadian Mountains, not far from where the latest sightings had been, but the nearest road had closed, and it was a long hike from where the bus had dropped her off. All her equipment and supplies she would need to carry with her, making the hike even longer and more grueling. And she couldn't wait to be inside, enjoying a hot, long bath. And no matter how dingy the inside of the cottage was, the undergrowth was thick here. So that's not how that was meant to be read.
I like the idea that is exactly how it was meant to be read. Also, this is a very small nitpick, but hot long is incorrect.
Long hot.
Oh yeah, long hot.
And
it
makes me deeply uncomfortable.
Yeah. Hot long bath.
It's my hot long bath.
A hot dog bath.
Okay, come on, guys.
Sorry.
The undergrowth was thick here, but more than that, it was laced with fallen branches and larger limbs, until all that suddenly gave off a few hundred meters up ahead, where a soft, squelchy mud covered the ground. It didn't look too deep, and she had on a good pair of boots, so she wasn't worried. But then suddenly she noticed something in the mud. It looked like a footprint. She got closer. It was definitely a humanoid footprint, distinct and very fresh, but also, and this was the exciting part, about 14 inches long.
Ooh, spicy. Also, I would just like to say, in the context of an erotica, nothing has made me more upset than soft, squelching mud.
Don't worry.
It's the word squelching.
She's got her squelching boots. It's fine.
She does have her squelching boots.
With the preconceived notion of this is about to get sexual, I did not want to hear that word in any context.
I have been clocking every usage of the word deep, thick, sizable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes me uncomfortable.
That's
weirdly frequent.
Those are probably the most used words on Literotica.
Absolutely.
All right. My God, she whispered. A Sasquatch print. She pulled her phone from her pocket and took a quick barrage of photos. Can I also say that she, right when she gets there, she's like, oh, there he is.
Bam.
She stopped to listen to the forest now. Perhaps whoever or whatever made this print wasn't far off. She crouched and waited, but there was no sound except a few birds and the buzzing mosquitoes. No smell except the mud and her own sweat. No apparent sign of a gigantic, hairy humanoid. And before long, she gave up and continued hiking to the cottage. After all, she said out loud, Kate often spoke to herself when she was alone.
That's so
Finding...
Okay, keep going.
I can't, just keep going. I can't even begin. Oh, it hurts.
Okay. After all, she said out loud, finding a footprint already is a very good sign. That thought, that sunny optimism, made the rest of the hike feel like it was nothing. The cottage was surprisingly nice given its remote location. She was able to get hot running water and took a long, relaxing bath.
Well, they did
After
spend
she got out,
72% of the school's budget on it, so it's fair.
Yeah, it better be nice, yeah. After she got out, she wrapped herself in a towel and started to unpack her stuff. Clothes, dried food, basic toiletries. Probably the most important thing was the small satellite dish that would grant her internet access. She wondered for a moment whether to bother getting dressed before heading outside.
What?
I
They bought you this $2,000 ghillie suit. Why are you gonna go out naked?
Well, and also, like, you were just talking about the mosquitoes and the mud, and, like, why would you not?
There's
why would
bees
you
out
not
here.
Wear clothes. Yeah.
Okay, all right. She wondered for a moment whether to bother getting dressed before heading outside. Surely there was nobody around, and even the mosquitoes had died out pretty sharply as she moved away from the swamp.
They're
there goes the hole in your theory.
Yeah, they're one step ahead of you, Caro.
Honestly, the writers on Literotica have too big brains for me.
Fuck it, she said, and walked outside wearing...
It's my autobiography.
Okay, all right. Fuck it, she said, and walked outside wearing nothing but a towel. Fresh out of the tub, Kate Garland was truly stunning. She was a tall girl, curvaceous, wide-hipped and busty. With long brown hair, she wore neat bangs, framing a wide, clear-skinned face. Bright green eyes, a pretty nose, and a wide, heart-melting smile with the cutest dimples you could imagine. Gross. Okay.
Did they
took a
introduce
moment
the tall thing because she's gonna have to fuck Bigfoot?
Yeah.
I imagine so. Yeah.
The author started thinking about logistics and was like, shit.
Could you actually read the description one more time? But all of us assume that they're talking about. But all of us assume that they're talking about Bigfoot.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
I'll even change the articles. Okay.
Yeah.
He was a tall boy, curvaceous, wide-hipped and busty, with long brown hair he wore in neat bangs. Framing a wide, clear-skinned face, bright green eyes and a pretty nose, and a wide, heart-melting smile with the cutest dimples you could imagine.
You know, Bigfoot.
He's so pretty. Okay. She took a moment to set up the satellite dish, modem, and router, granting her a limited Wi-Fi signal across the cottage. She set up a few sensors around the perimeter that would notify her if anything human-sized or larger was approaching. That's a very broad. Okay.
Yeah.
The sun felt great on her bare skin, and there were no mosquitoes this high up the hill, away from the standing water.
They're really hammering
took
that
a
one
moment-
home, huh?
Yeah, they really are. They were worried about
on that one. I'm sorry.
The
they're
next one
worried
just
Sorry
says
for bringing it up.
Caro.
Damn.
They were worried about the plot hole. She took a moment to appreciate the beautiful scenery around her, the view down the mountain into an endless forest of pine trees, orange in the setting sun. Just as she was setting up the last of the sensors, she heard a sort of snuffling sound from a ways off. When she turned to see what it was, she was so shocked that her towel fell right off,
Her towel
That's
reacted.
how that
standard-
works.
leaving her standing naked in the evening breeze. About 150 meters away, at a natural clearing in the foliage, stood an enormous man-like creature, easily 7 feet tall.
Already?
A shaggy silhouette against the orange sky. Kate reached for her phone, only to remember that she'd left it in her pants pocket, inside the cottage. Before she could even
Idiot.
consider... I know, right? Is
What
this what
kind of
always happens when people see
hunt is
Bigfoot?
this if you're gonna go out naked, no pockets to put your Bigfoot journal in, to write anything down with, you don't have anything to take a picture of if you fucking see the Bigfoot?
I do like the
I
fact
mean,
that
is
she
it-
went for her phone still, though.
Yeah.
She was like, maybe.
Is this?
Perhaps.
I mean, is this why we can't get any good pictures of Bigfoot? Is it because
Everybody's
this
walking
happens
outside
every
naked?
time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's like,
Yeah.
I'm just too seduced by Bigfoot. I just walked outside naked and there he was.
Okay, let's see. Where was I? Okay. Before she could even consider whether to go in for it, the creature loped back off into the woods. As it walked, she noticed something the keychains and posters and action figures had
Oh,
left
no.
out. Something you couldn't see in that iconic silhouette from
Uh-oh,
the
uh-oh,
Patterson
uh-oh,
Gimlin film.
No.
Oh no!
His
God.
heart.
Yes. wow, Bigfoot is hung like a champ.
It does not say that.
Yes, it does. It does say that.
God. Oh no.
Like a
All right.
champ.
Oh no.
Like a champ is he.
Kate felt strangely uncomfortable, even acknowledging that she'd seen his enormous dick. But in the moment,
So tactful.
but in the moment found it
Uncomfortable is
strangely
probably the right word. Yeah. Sorry.
Right, yes, it is. It is definitely the right word. But in the moment, found it strangely erotic. A half-forgotten fantasy from her youth resurfaced. An aspect of her lifelong fascination with the Sasquatch she thought she'd outgrown. Some girls had their sexual awakening as a result of David Bowie's pants in Labyrinth. Kate had hers
So
while
specific.
watching Harry and the Hendersons.
Guys? Are they saying her childhood trauma and her childhood sexual awakening made her think about Bigfoot's dick so much that she was like, I'm gonna go find him?
Look, in her defense, the sexual awakening while watching Harry and the Hendersons was because of John Lithgow. So,
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
It wasn't Bigfoot. Yeah. So she decides to go follow him without thinking, and turns out he was looking for her as well.
he did a bad job. He just left.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He just kind of rolled out. He just he just rolled. So, what do y'all think?
Oh, man. How long is this story in total?
That was probably about 40% of the way through.
And the rest is just graphic Bigfoot sex.
Right. Yeah. I mean, oh gosh, there's some awful stuff in this.
Yeah, I would rather not touch on that. I'd rather not have that burned into my brain for the rest of my life.
I
There's
can't
a lot
believe
of-
I'm doing this, she murmured. She hugged him back now, pushing... Okay, I can't.
No. Why is
Oh,
this
wait, can I read you my favorite quote of the whole thing?
Yeah.
Bigfoot's real, and I'm about to fuck him.
Wow. I mean, if anybody was gonna have sex with Bigfoot, I'm pretty sure that's what they would think.
That's definitely on the poster.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
absolutely.
Oh,
That's
man.
the subtitle.
Oh, there's a sequel.
But that's just about the funding being allocated.
Yeah,
And so there were 25%.
that's all about the
Right.
benefactors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more of a political thriller.
Yeah.
The subcategory is non-human, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave Literotica and get off that website.
Yeah, that's... Ooh, no.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so I want to talk about this wonderful little news story that involves this is a Vox article from 2018. This is a huge deal. I remember when this happened.
Okay.
So this is a Vox article. Headline: The Virginia House race at the center of Bigfoot erotica controversy explained. Subtitle: The Stuff Waves Are Made Of by Matthew Iglesias. Okay.
Excuse me?
Yep. All right. Virginia's 5th congressional district is not the Democrats' best hope for a House pickup in November, not by a long shot. Donald Trump carried the district in 2016, Mitt Romney carried it in 2012, and Ed Gillespie carried it in the 2017 gubernatorial race, even though all 3 Republicans lost statewide. But none of them won by a landslide, and a somewhat improbable confluence of events has left Republicans' hold on the seat imperiled. Starting with the Virginia GOP's nomination of a neo-Confederate Senate candidate, continuing with a scandal-plagued incumbent stepping down, and ending with a candidate's history with what I guess we are calling Bigfoot erotica. Okay, here's a tweet from his opponent. My opponent, Denver Riggleman. That's his fucking name.
Well, of course
his
he's
name's
into
Denver
Bigfoot erotica.
Riggleman.
They should have seen this coming.
Yeah,
Right,
you
exactly.
can't just nominate a man named Denver Riggleman and expect him not to read Bigfoot erotica.
That's a classic saying.
This is also a tweet from Leslie Cockburn. My opponent, Denver. This whole thing is fucked.
This is satire. This has to be.
All right. Tweet from Leslie Cockburn. My opponent, Denver Riggleman, running mate of Corey Stewart, was caught on camera campaigning with a white supremacist. Now he has been exposed as a devotee of Bigfoot erotica. This is not what we need on Capitol Hill.
No, I guess it's not.
White supremacy, Bigfoot erotica. You know,
I do kind of want to stand up for these Bigfoot erotica people for a second because the fact that takes precedence over being a Confederate.
Yeah.
Right.
And a white supremacist.
I think being a white supremacist is a little worse than, thinking about Bigfoot like that.
Yeah. I do think we need HUAC-style congressional hearings to sort out who on Capitol Hill is looking at Bigfoot erotica, though. I think we do need to weed those people out.
So, but it basically, like,
I'm going to guess
Instagram,
Romney. I'm just saying, I'm going to guess Romney.
His Instagram, I don't want to read the whole article because, like, that's basically, like, the conceit of the whole thing. But his Instagram is just his own drawings of Bigfoot with a massive dick.
Oh, my God. Give me his Instagram handle right now.
It's Denver Riggleman.
There's only one.
Yeah. No one else is going to have that handle.
Not to be confused with the other Denver Rigglemans.
There are no drawings of Bigfoot with a massive dick.
Did he get rid of them?
Well,
He
they
probably got
deleted
rid of them.
Probably deleted them, yeah. But, yeah, they're there. So
on his public Instagram?
Yeah.
So he wasn't even hiding it. You know what? Well, no, he's a white supremacist, so yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
He does have an IGTV video of him talking about Bigfoot cults. So
okay.
He's still involved in the Bigfoot world.
Could you watch that?
Oh my God, he released a book called Bigfoot ... It's complicated.
Yep. That's in the article.
That's incredible.
He also wrote another book that's a non-erotic work. But it's
I'm
a
pretty
little
sure
off-brand.
Bigfoot ... Is complicated is not an erotic work.
No. Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I don't know.
It's not. It's talking about the politics of true Bigfoot believers.
Now, I will say that while it might not be a surface level erotic book, I feel like if you read it, you'd kind of walk out of it like, I think this guy wants to fuck Bigfoot.
Yeah, I would think almost definitely.
But he wrote another book called Bigfoot Exterminators, Inc., the partially cautionary, mostly true tale of Monster Hunt 2006.
Holy fuck.
What?
I need to know what Monster Hunt 2006 is.
Why wasn't I there?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but it's a non-erotic work about people.
I'm looking it up.
Bigfoot.
On his website, this is the picture associated with his bio.
Wait, hold on.
Bigfoot about to choke him sexually.
And then under it says author, congressman, CEO.
Yeah, it's like, bro, maybe not. Maybe not those.
I mean,
maybe
at least he's just out and proud with it, with his Bigfoot love.
I'm looking up Monster Hunt 2006, and I'm not seeing anything.
I just feel like it was just him and like two other guys just like going out into the woods like, we're gonna find him. And they called it that, but nobody else called it that.
Yeah, they're trying to get it going.
Denver, Monster Hunt is never gonna be a thing. Stop trying to make it a thing.
Well, this was an adventure. I think you very much, Nolan.
I think we've all learned something here today.
I've learned a lot about myself, and it's that I wish I hadn't heard this, but now I have. So I have to go deal with that in therapy later. But
there's nothing you can do about that.
You know.
All right, thank you, everybody.